So all throughout this movie, Ralphie is told he can't have a Red Ryder air rifle because he'll shoot his eye out, which is the prevailing wisdom from every adult in this movie. So why does the Higbee's store feature these guns prominently in their huge Christmas display? If every single adult is hell-bent on not buying them because they're dangerous, then why mix them in with all the other children's toys?
First of all, Ralphie isn't told by every adult in the movie that he'll shoot his eye out. The only people who tell him this are Mrs. Parker, Miss Shields, and Santa. Mr. Parker never warns Ralphie that he'll shoot his eye out and even buys him the BB gun with seemingly no hesitation. So granted, most of the adults that are somewhat important characters are against the Red Ryder BB gun, it's still not all of them. Second, the people who are against BB guns aren't the ones selling them.
I'm looking at Santa's list and checking it twice, and I think Santa's gotten a little f***ing lazy. He's only double-checked 2 names on this list and single-checked a few more, but there's a lot of unchecked names here. Surely not all these unchecked children are naughty. And don't any of these kids use last names? Also, I think it's pretty awesome that Red Ryder refers to Snow White as Little Beaver. That's a joke that'll go right over the kids' heads, including his adopted Native American son standing next to him.
Little Beaver is actually the name of Red Ryder's sidekick, aka this kid. For those wondering, Red Ryder was a franchise that both existed in real life and sold BB guns.
Oh, this might be problematic.
Black Bart runs away on his horse, and Ralphie now looks down on his fresh kills, which is a total of 4 burglars. But there were only 4 guys total in the entire scene, and we only saw Ralphie kill 3 of them. So who's the extra corpse in Ralphie's blood-drenched revenge fantasy?
I'll give you the inconsistent body count, but there were not 4 guys in total. There were 2 over here, 2 guys coming from over the shed, 1 guy coming from behind the shed, 1 guy crawling in under the fence, and 2 more guys coming in over the fence. That makes 8. Also, I know I shouldn't be sitting background noise, but this time I have to because I think I heard Jeremy fart.
So who's the extra corpse in Ralphie's blood-drenched revenge fantasy?
I can't put my arms out!
Randy's winter clothing is pretty funny, but if they can get Ralphie clothes that fit, why does Randy have this bulky bullshit? Are these hand-me-downs? The verbose narrator certainly would have mentioned it, right?
Maybe Randy's clothing didn't do this when they first got them, and Randy just got a little too big, or they were ruined in the wash.
But those who did it know their blame.
Ralphie looking around the room looking for suspects is hilarious, since he's supposedly guilty of making Flick stick his tongue on the flagpole. But there's only one person who actually triple dog dared Flick to do that, and that's their buddy Schwartz. Everyone else was just standing around watching it happen. If anything, Ralphie should be commended for mentioning years later as an adult that Schwartz breached the dare etiquette by going from the double dog dare straight to the triple dog dare. I don't know what I'm upset about, but here's the sin.
Ralphie was there, didn't try to stop it from happening, and didn't even try to help Flick after it happened. So it's reasonable for Ralphie to pin at least some of the blame on himself.
Our hillbilly neighbors, the Bumpuses, had at least 785 smelly hound dogs.
785? Why that specific number? Don't you think that's just a little bit exaggerated?
Adult Ralphie is telling this story from the perspective of Kid Ralphie, so a lot of things will be exaggerated.
Randy eating his food like a pig is f***ing gross. Might be grosser than watching the Human Centipede, but Melinda Dillon absolutely steals this scene and is a joy to watch.
Yep.
This is the 3rd time these 3 have gone down the same dead-end alley where Julius and Vincent Benedict set up their troll toll. And I don't know why the movie wrote self-preservation out of the script.
Julius and Vincent Benedict probably cornered them and chased them into the alley rather than ambushing them when they arrived in the alley. Meaning that Ralphie and his friends didn't intentionally enter the lion's den.
4 minutes! Time me!
I've changed a tire in all 4 of the known seasons and never experienced this much excitement. Forget the lamp. This is a much weirder fetish.
I mean, it was the 1940s. People were so bored back then that kicking a can was exciting to them. We shouldn't be too harsh, though. 100 years from now, a time traveler could come back to 2023 and make fun of you for whatever it is you do in your spare time.
My old man's spare tires were actually only tires in the academic sense. They were round, they had once been made of rubber.
Wait, once been? Does rubber turn into something else over time? Like gangrene?
I'm not sinning this. I'm just going to point out that the film itself seems to have cut off the narrator before he could finish his statement.
My old man's spare tires were actually only tires in the academic sense. They were round, they had once been made of rubber.
What the hell was that? What was Ralphie gonna say? I need to know!
Fudge.
Only I didn't say fudge. I said the word. The F-dash-dash-dash word.
This is a classic moment in a classic movie, and it always makes me smile.
Yep.
Everything go all right?
How the fudge did she not hear Ralphie yell fudge a second ago? Is this car soundproof? Are we supposed to fudging believe Ralphie exclaimed fudge, but with an inside voice?
Ralphie didn't yell fudge. He was talking at a normal volume level.
Oh. Fudge.
It was only loud to us because of the audio editing.
It was? Yes. So poisoning.
This narcissistic motherfucker throws his friend under the bus, then has the nerve to have this pity party daydream, because kids!
That's kind of the point. Unlike most child protagonists before this movie, Ralphie is a, well, more realistic child. He's selfish, has trouble controlling his temper, and still has a lot to learn.
Running away was clearly an option, and Flick chose pain instead.
Flick is a child who can be easily manipulated into taking orders from an older person. So he believed that he had to go to Farkas.
My god, this kid's expression is one of the biggest highlights for me when I watch this movie. He is absolutely perfect.
Yep.
You know what I said, the awful things that I said.
Yeah, but very recently in this movie, Ralph just said the mother of all swear words, and all he got was a bar of soap placed in his mouth. And he said it directly in front of his dad. What makes everyone think this will be different? Is he more worried about the cursing than the fighting?
The first time, Ralphie only dropped one F-bomb and got a bar of soap. This time, Ralphie said many, many swear words, probably including multiple F-bombs. So it's reasonable for Ralphie to expect a harsher punishment.
I wish I could say this is the last time I saw Mickey Mouse get ganged up on by characters from The Wizard of Oz, but the 1980s Midwest was no fairy tale world.
I'm not sinning this. I just want someone to tell me what Jeremy is referencing because I couldn't find any Mickey Mouse property from the 80s that's connected to The Wizard of Oz, and I was really curious.
Randy and Ralphie see Santa in the parade, and then moments later they see him in Higbee's, yet never question how fast he got from one place to another. And if Ralphie thought Santa was inside taking gift requests, who does he think the parade Santa is?
Maybe they think Parade Santa is a fraud, or they're dumb kids who don't question absurdity.
I like Santa.
This fucking kid. God, this movie is great. This might have been the least sins in the post-Batman and Robin era of any video we've ever made.
Yep.
Oh, I hate the smell of tapioca.
Santa drops this fun fact with no context or lead-in whatsoever. Did kids in the 40s smell like tapioca?
Tapioca is often found in pudding, a common dessert eaten by children. Since a lot of kids eat a lot of desserts, like pudding, their breath would probably smell like pudding. Or tapioca. Since Santa often has to smell the breath of children, he'd probably grow a distaste for the smell of tapioca.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Great punchline to a recurring joke throughout the movie. But what the f*** does Santa care if the BB gun would shoot Ralphie's eye out? All he has to do is say very well and push him down the slide. My guess is of all the requests, only about 67% of them get fulfilled anyway, so what's the harm if he doesn't get the gun? Another disappointed child at Christmas who finds out Santa is a lie?
Maybe Santa cares for Ralphie's safety and doesn't give a shit if Higby sells an inadequate amount of BB guns that year. Seriously, I believe this Santa has integrity. Sure, he hates working at Higby's, and he could be nicer to the kids, but he has to deal with screaming, smelly children all day, he doesn't want to hold up the line, or his coworkers' time, and he's clearly trying his best. This Santa gets a bad rap. And for anyone wondering, no, I am not anti-BB gun or anti-gun or any of that crap, but I wouldn't give a BB gun, or a regular gun, to a 9-year-old. Especially this 9-year-old. Unless I had no other choice.
While Randy laughs at his brother's bunny suit, I wonder why Aunt Clara didn't get him something stupid for Christmas.
Younger siblings are often treated better than older siblings, especially when it comes to gifts.
You stay away from that turkey!
Wait, so his wife telling him from upstairs not to eat the turkey is what's going to stop him? How did he think he was going to get away with it when she saw a big slice cut out of it?
Mr. Parker views this as a better to ask for forgiveness than permission situation. If Mrs. Parker catches him, he can claim ignorance. As for if Mrs. Parker would notice the bite, Mr. Parker can take an amount that's so small, nobody will notice that it's gone. And by the time they do notice it, they will probably think that it was taken out when they started serving it.
Does Ralphie know that he's in a movie? What's with this fourth wall break 5 minutes before the credits roll?
Ralphie in-universe isn't looking at the camera. He's looking away from his mother so that she doesn't see his shit-eating grin.
The greatest Christmas gift I had ever received or would ever receive.
This kid is a piece of shit. He left one of his best friends to die out in the snow, and he scapegoated the other one. After all that, the movie gives him everything his heart desires.
That's kind of the point. Despite Ralphie being kind of a brat, he still got what he wanted because he was good enough, and he's just a kid.